Yeah, I'ma make this shit hot. Oh, I'ma light this shit up. Yeah, I'ma make this shit hot. Oh, I'ma light this shit up.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I know you're liking my he wants to hear my seductive. Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to What If Deku Got Stronger When Injured, part 6. I don't know why I did that. I'm bored, bro. But anyway, yeah. I just had to chat to you, man, real quick. You get me? Nah, you get me, bros. Nah. Don't know what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, we are so close to 20k. Please get me there soon and check out my thumbnail artist. Join the Discord, and I would appreciate it greatly. But other than that, guys, let's just jump straight into this. Last time I left off, Deku battered Muscular, and then when he was knocked out, he went over to him. And not even knocked out. When he was pinned down, he went over to him and ripped out every little bit of muscle fiber on him. Then he found out Bakugo got kidnapped, and Deku was not having that. He flew up and flew on the board 3 times until he finally sensed him and he busted in. When he finally got in there, he saw that he thought Shigaraki was about to decay him. He runs in there, boots Shigaraki in the back of the head, grabs him by his arm and rips his arm off. Shut up! And then twice, he rushes at him. Deku ducks down and launches his fist up, actually piercing his hand through twice his chest, killing him. Then Kurogiri attempts to teleport them out of there, not before Deku could. Sorry guys, I'm actually getting really annoyed. Shut up. Oh, it's a YouTuber, guys, I'm just saying. But yes. Then what is it? Then Kurogiri attempts to teleport them out of it, but Deku destroys his main body and then his secondary body, absolutely killing Kurogiri. Before he got a chance to get to the other members of the lead, Bakugo calmed him down, saying, Deku, we're heroes. We don't need to kill villains every single time. Deku takes a deep breath and says to all of them, you're lucky, he said, to stop, or you would have all been on your deathbed in the next 10 seconds. But next time we meet, he won't be there to stop me, and you will all be dead. And tell your little master that when I next see him is on sight. I don't care, you can be scrapping all mate. I'm gonna jump in and I'm gonna disembowel that ugly fucking bastard. And he leaves. Now a week has gone past and Deku's been on edge, so he's just been relentlessly training. And I mean training where it's even not healthy. He's getting Bakugo, all them not to send him ruthless, their full power attacks at him, and he's just eating them and going through with his training. He's doing his workouts, his martial art training, while Denki's going full voltage. It like shocks at him. And if you're wondering why I've made Denki so strong, it's because he's constantly pushing his quirk to the limit, using it on Deku to make Deku stronger. And therefore he's constantly getting stronger at an insane rate. As if this was normal, Denki wouldn't be bothered. But he's very close with Deku and he's doing this out of his pure friendship. And eventually he began liking the power he was getting, so now it's beneficial for both of them. And as such, we now go to the Saturday of the week. Deku went home to see his mother, and he told her about how he's worried something's going to go wrong. His heart's been pounding all week. And she looks at him and just smiles and says, Izuku, it's fine. You always used to say the exactly same thing to me, but nothing ever happened. That's what happened. An emergency alarm got set off in the news. They heard the sonars, the sirens going off in the sky. It means a villain's been attacking, a big one as well. He turned on the news and he sees All for One versus All Might, the final showdown. This will decide whether villains reign supreme or whether the heroes yet again come out on top, protecting the society we know and love. When he sees this, Deku's heart drops, not out of fear, out of pure hatred for All for One. He attempts to leave, but his mother begs him to stay. Don't go, that's the #1 villain, please stop. He looks his mother in the eye with the most confidence. This reassures her and he says, Mother, I promise you, I will be fine. Deku disappears in a flash and his mother's heart drops. She thinks, my baby boy, he's gonna get hurt. Deku is not bothered though. And he begins to to fly towards her. As he gets there, he sees Denki, Bakugo and Kirishima all watching. He flies down to them saying, I'm getting involved, but I need her watching my back. They'll try to stop him, but they know he wouldn't be able to. They fly in just as All Might was about to get his weak spot here. Deku comes in and he decks All For One as hard as he can in the face, flying with him, picks them up into the sky. He's screaming in his face, I told you little minions to tell you if I see you it's on sight. Very brave of you to show your face in public like this, thinking I won't come and beat the shit out of you. All For One says, for a hero you have no honour. I thought you'd let me fight 1v1. Deku laughs, honour? You've killed millions of people. Who gives a fuck about honour? I should tear you limb from limb where you stand. Deku, instead of flying upwards, flips downwards and flies full speed at the ground. All For One tries desperately to blow Deku off, but he's eating every little thing he does. Even when Deku's heart got impaled, it healed quicker than he could die. And he slams All For One down, creating a massive crater. All Might, who was watching this, rushes in, thinking maybe Deku was hurt. He just sees Deku holding One For All down, pummeling him. All Might knew this was a chance to never get again. He jumps in with Midoriya. Midoriya chucks him upwards for All Might to come in with a 100% smash and punches him. That's when Deku activates One For All at 100%. Deku's now at the strongest he's ever been in his life. The ground he stepped on is melting from the pure energy radiating off him. All For One had a quirk that could check an enemy's power level. When he looked at Deku, his heart dropped. All For One himself was in about 1.5 billion. Deku just had his zeros was not stopping. Seeing this, All For One knew that he was outclassed no matter what he could do. That kid is a monster. He was first thinking, where could that breath come from? How come All Might got to him before me? If I got to him, I'd be able to rule the world with ease. But most importantly, even if Shigaraki takes over as my successor, I won't be able to stop him. The only chance is to steal his quirk. Before All For One can even get a finger upwards, Deku appears in front of him and he slaps him. The pure force that Deku slaps him with rips the skin off All For One's cheeks, showing his ugly face. Deku laughs and he pulls out two fingers and he jabs him in All For One's empty eye sockets. And he picks him up by this. All For One's screaming now, but it's all part of his plan. He wraps around Deku and begins to steal his quirk. Deku can feel his energy fading from him, but who gives a flying fuck? He feels his energy fade and come back. The power boost he's getting from this is insane. As in what My Hero Academia, this isn't asked for by the way, when someone loses their quirk, they get put close to death. But for some reason, All For One doesn't have enough power. Deku's quirk overpowers him that much, All For One can't steal it. But every single time he tries to, Deku's power is getting times by 10. All For One is seeing this and he's panicking. The zeros are just increasing each time by an insane amount. And Deku's just smiling. He grabs All For One's wrist and he crushes it with ease. I mean, the bone gets disintegrated. And he boots him in the stomach, sending him flying backwards. He's then marching towards him with a smug look in his face. And he says, this is for the millions of people you killed. He punches him once. There was a literal earthquake. This is for all the innocent kids you've manipulated. He pulls up a vent and punches him again. This is for all my successors. He puts his fists together and he swings them back and slams them back down into All For One's face. Then he spits on him and says, this is for every single person you've done wrong or caused fear. He sends punch after punch after punch after punch. At this point, All For One must be dead. If it weren't for his healing work, he'd be dead years ago. Well, technically he would be dead years ago if it weren't for some of his quirks, but you get what I mean. He would be dead as from the first punch. It's gotten to the point that All For One has forgotten about his ideology, saying, please, I'm begging you, stop. I'm sorry, I'll go to Tartarus. I'll do anything, just stop. I'll give up my quirk. I'll do anything, just stop doing this to me. You like my acting, guys? Deku does not give a damn. He has shown no mercy. He keeps on punching him till the audience looks away. And before he gets to throw the final punch, All Might grabs him and says, "Young Midoriya, stop." Deku grabs All Might by the collar and pulls him down to the ground with him and says, "This man has killed millions. He killed your master. And you're just gonna let him get away and get put in prison." All Might says it's part of being a hero. Deku snaps and not like hurt him, but he starts screaming. Like he amplifies his voice with One for All. He screams, "This is what I believe is wrong with the hero society, and the hero killer Stain can agree. As a society, every single time, instead of giving villains what they should get, we just put them in prison and they break out a year or two later just to kill again, commit the same crimes. And then we want to whine about how they always get away, people are dying." So I'm coming in now. As you can all see, I'm probably the strongest creature to ever walk on this earth. I'm changing the law of this world. Villains watching this now, of course there's some exceptions. If you're just being robbers, of course you're going to put in prison. But if you're killing people, expect to be killed back, not painlessly. Expect to be tortured to your final breath. I do not mean this to scare you. I don't care if you look at me as a villain. I'm sick and tired of them just getting a slap on the wrist. How many villains have escaped from the world's most secure prison in this last year? 10? And what have they done to do? Yes, by the time we saved them, sure, maybe 100 people were saved. By the time they were released, due to the rage of being locked up, 1,000 were killed. From now on, I'm not saying other heroes have to, but if I catch a murderer, he's getting murdered. If I see someone rob, then he's gonna get put in prison. If I see a child abuser, I'm gonna scar him for life. If it's a nonce, he's getting castrated and killed. No, he's getting castrated and we're gonna put him in prison with the rest of them. No more separating them. We're gonna let the prisoners do their work. As he's giving this speech, half the population is thinking, what? No. But the half of them is agreeing. They're cheering. They all thought the same thing. How are we just going to put them in prison and let them get out and do the same thing? Eventually, as more of the people watching starts cheering, the rest of them will agree. Eventually, it's a unanimous decision. They're all cheering, "Phoenix, Phoenix, Phoenix." They're all agreeing this new law. Even some of the heroes who have been thinking the same thing the past few years, especially Hawks and Endeavour, start agreeing with him, applauding him. All Might hearing this, he grits his teeth and says, "I think I made a mistake choosing you as my successor." This pisses Deku off, and he slaps All Might across the battleground. He looks at All for One and he stamps him out. He grabs All Might grab the collar, whose now jaw is broken. He starts screaming in his face. "Do you really so you're telling me you're going to let the man who killed your master leave and then escape prison again? All them lives that happen, that they take when they escape, because you decide to put them in prison, they're on your hands, All Might. I used to have the most respect for you. Now I look at you with disgust. I could spit in your face." Hearing this, All Might's holding back his tears. No matter how much he wants to fight against it using his own ideology, Deku's right. All them lives that these villains have took, that All Might's just put in prison instead of ending it when he should have, they're all on his hands. Deku picks All Might up and slams him in the ground. He's holding him back now, of course. He's punching him left, right, and he says, "All the pain of the families who've lost their loved ones because you didn't do what you actually had to do. How about you know how it feels then?" All the audience is sharp. They were all thinking, when All Might said to Deku that he made a mistake choosing him, they all got pissed, but they didn't think the symbol of peace was going to get battered like this. Bakugo and all them fly in and they pull Deku off him. All Might just lays there with tears coming down his eyes saying, "I'm sorry, you were right." Deku screams, "It's too late now, All Might. You said what you said. You're dead to me." Bakugo was trying to hold him back. Deku grabs him and rips him off him. And he says, "Look at it, Bakugo." Gosh, I mean, they kill and kill and kill, and then they get released to kill again, or they escape to kill again. Are you not bored of it? Bakuro says, Deku, I never once disagreed with you. Look what you're doing. You're battering the symbol of peace in front of millions. Deku looks at this and he realises what he's done and he says, I apologise, but All Might, you said what you said, you're done. Now fuck off out of my sight. But if you're wondering why I did this, here's gonna get the real speech today, guys. This is gonna be a real message to society. I do not like the pressure that fully grown adults are putting on our generation. You live your life step by step to make them happy, but then they have the audacity to tell you that you're a failure. Listen, this is me talking to you guys now. If someone in your life tells you a favour, I don't care if it's your mum, your great granddad, it can be anyone. If someone dares to say that you're a failure, what do? They live their life to just end up working again. This doesn't apply to everyone, but for those parents watching, if you do this to your kids, I have no respect for you. I could spit in your face when I see you. And for you guys, if someone ever tells you that you're a failure, or they regret something about you, or they're disappointed in you, you look them dead in the eye and you say that again. If they say it again, you spin their jaw. It don't matter if they start beating the shit out of you. They're gonna know that no one talks down on you. We're the ones who are going to have to carry on the next generation. The one who's going to keep the world going after their mistakes, after they're the ones causing global warming, after they're the ones who want to ignore all the problems, and they will only want to recognise the problems when they realise it's going to be us who deals with them. So here's my message for you today. Who cares what other people think? Especially who cares what the people who you're meant to listen to thinks? There's limits, of course. Don't go around killing people and saying who cares what the police think. Who cares if someone's disappointed in what you've done? If you put your heart and soul into it and someone's disappointed in it, you go over to them and you say suck your mum and you carry on walking. And if they still want to talk to you, you just need to talk facts. So I know all of you have a speech prepared in the back of your heads for what last time parent lectured you about saying that it wasn't even your fault. Let that speech fly. But anyway, back into this. Bucket was seeing this, he says, you're right, Deku, but you can't batter up the symbol of peace. He then goes over the awful one who's laying there, and he goes, please spare me. Deku laughs and says, spare you? You're lucky you don't live in hell. Deku kills awful one, ending the reign of the League of Villains. Shigaraki appears, attempting to kill Deku. Deku is not having it. He doesn't care about how wrong Shigaraki been in his life. So you was abused as a kid, boo-hoo. You killed your parents, boo-hoo. So that means you have the right to kill other people. That's what I did not like about the anime. Oh my god. Oh, I didn't like about the manga. Shigaraki had killed so many people, but just because he had a messed up backstory, you forgave him for that. I get giving him sympathy, but when he was forgiving him, I wanted to slap Deku. He still killed thousands. He still left kids without their own parents. And you're just going to forgive him? Deku backhands Shigaraki, blowing his head off. This marks a new age for heroes. This marks a new way that heroes work. I'm telling you right now, it's time to skip 5 years ahead. The crime rate has dropped from 10% to 1%. Villains who commit murders, they can be in prison, but they get put on death row. Or they get killed when they're trying to escape or fight back. All the paedophiles who touch up kids, or the sex offenders, they get put in prison with the rest of the prisoners, and their prisoners do their work on them. This is a new age for heroes and mankind alike in the My Hero Academia universe. No, there isn't going to be a next part for this, as Eri does not happen. The Eri situation doesn't happen. With the crime rate dropping, Deku finds Eri, he saves her, he kills Overhaul. Eri is saved. Deku adopts her. Let's just go with that. Oh no, yeah, he ends up with Melissa, by the way. I forgot to tell you guys, actually. Yeah, he does end up with Melissa. Anyway, guys, I do hope you do enjoy. I know I've rushed this ending, but I wanted to get this speech across because it's been hurting my soul. But yeah, guys, how about this? Every single time I end a what if, I'm gonna end it with a message like I just left it with. It's going to be a live lesson for you. Other than that, guys, I hope you do enjoy and take what I said in this video to the heart. You are you, The average human lifespan is 70 years. That's over 25,000 days. So what if you mess up one day? You still have another 24,999 days left. So what if you're sad one day? Don't let someone tell you should be happy. You'll be happy when you want to be happy. Well, with that, guys, I'm signing out. Sayonara. Peace out.